Hey, what's going on? It is Josh. This one is my friend Tim D'Agostino. I originally met him on tour. He was the vocalist for a band called This Town of Forest. In recent years, he has been the singer for The Valley Ends, which is this incredible, they're like Polyphia with vocals. Amazing band. And he's got a brand new band called Pale Spells. And I love this write-up for the band. Dreamo band, like Screamo, but Dreamo. I've never heard that before. I'm going to use it a lot. I'm guessing it's similar to Vibecore, which is my whole thing, which I love. They're from Melbourne. Super excited. They have produced and recorded themselves. The track that he has sent me to hear is their top track. This is Wallow from Pale Spells. Let's go. Dreamo. I love that. I'm guessing this is all going to go on my Vibecore playlist. Link will be down below. I need to mention here, after I do my reaction to the song, I will be having a chat with Tim and talking to him about it. So hang around for the end and we'll talk to Tim about his new band Pale Spells and his new EP. Whoa, I just did Bad Omens album. Similar vibe. Such an incredible vocalist. Two vocalists. Oh, damn. A lot of ambience to it. The vocalists work together so well. It's really like shoegaze, Loathe kind of style. Oh, yes. If you are loving this, go and check out the Death of Peace of Mind album from Bad Omens. Such a similar vibe. Bit of a Lot Like Birds kind of vibe as well, one of my favourite bands. Oh, and Craig Owens, like Chiodos. Massive Chiodos vibes. Chiodos. Really epic. The instrumentation is even giving me some like Perfect Circle vibes. It's just a big mix of stuff that I love. Ooh. two vocalists working together is very unique for this style, and it's amazing. They've got that post-punk vibe, but then they've also got that kind of screamo vibe, just dreamo. Perfect. All right, there it is. Pale Spells with their new one, Wallow. So I am now going to call Tim, and I'll tack on to the end of this little interview with him talking about it. I've known him for a very long time, back since when I was in the band and we were touring. So looking forward to calling him. I think he's on his break. So yeah, stay tuned, and the little interview will come up now. Thanks. Yo.
Hey, it's you.
Dude, how you going?
Good, how are you?
Very good. I just listened to Wallow, man.
Oh, awesome.
Dude, what a track.
Yeah, digging it?
I loved it. Introduce yourself for the fine people.
Yeah, cool. I'm Tim D'Agostino. I do vocals in my current band is called Pale Spells. We've just released like an EP on May 2nd this year, and a couple of other tracks over the past like 8 months or so. Yeah, and I've done, like you said in the Discord chat, a few other bands in my past. I've been in bands since I was 15, but This Town of Forest was probably my first post-hardcore band a long time ago.
And that's when we met. Then, we met, I believe, on tour when you were playing with This Town of Forest.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yes. Yeah, so that was Capulet, wasn't it?
Yeah, dude. Good times. Yeah. And then, so This Town of Forest, that was way back in the day. More recently, The Valley Ends.
Yeah, yep. So I realised the other day I was looking at the timeline of that, and that was like 7 years.
Wow.
Long time, yeah. We did like an EP and an album on that, and that was more like kind of math rock, very technical kind of music.
I've described it on stream as Polyphia with vocals.
Yeah, so, that's a good description.
Yeah. Because we did a Polyphia track, and someone on the stream in the chat was kind of like, oh, like I'd love to hear what they were like with vocals, and I was like, just give me a minute. And I played one of the songs, and I think made a few fans. So definitely amazing band.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was probably one of those weird surges we got of followers, and I was like, where are all these followers coming from? I don't get it.
Very, very cool band. I've always been a big fan. I told the story of when my daughter was born. I was wearing a Valley Ends t-shirt. So in all my first photos where I'm holding this tiny baby, I've got the Valley Ends shirt in the background. I always think that's very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm there with you.
Oh, yes. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations. New baby has just arrived.
I'll have to get a Capulet t-shirt so I can start taking photos with that.
I'll see if I can dig one out and send it to you. See what I've got. Very cool. That'd be awesome, man. Yeah, man. How's dad life going?
It's going good. Yeah. I think you hear all the horror stories like, oh, you're not going to sleep and blah blah blah, and you're not going to have a life anymore and all that sort of stuff. But I think I'm going to manage.
Yeah.
I work full time and do music as a like passionate hobby.
Yep.
But I think I'll be able to keep doing that and still be a dad.
Sounds like a good balance so far.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got some vomit in my hair, so that's why the hair's tied up.
That's the true dad life, the truest dad life. I would always have like a vomit rag over my shoulder at all times.
They need to design like a shoulder pad or something.
Yeah, and because it would look cool. I know. But anyway, Pale Spells. So I just listened to Wallow. This was the one. Why did you pick Wallow as the track for me to do the video for?
I know that your kind of Discord is more, and like your Twitch is more like hardcore, heavier music.
Yeah.
So that's probably the heaviest track that we have on the EP. We've only got 4 tracks on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was probably the heaviest one, and really kind of showcases the dynamics between me and Theo, the bassist. Our vocals.
That was the biggest surprise for me, that there were 2 vocalists. That was incredible. And I love, as you said, the dynamic between the 2 vocals.
Yeah.
Very different.
So that's why I chose that one. I thought it was just a good showcase of what the sound is and stuff.
Yeah, dude, amazing. So I wrote down 5 bands that as I was going through, there was just like hints of the music where I was like, whoa, this reminds me of this. And then it would swing. I'd say, now it's more in this kind of direction. What are the inspirations for Pale Spells? What are the main bands that are kind of add to that sound?
Yeah, there's so many, man. Like we all come from kind of different musical backgrounds. So, well, not really. I think in common, we all have kind of like that post-hardcore kind of emo background.
Yeah.
We're all into Brand New, Thursday, Taking Back Sunday, all those kind of like emo hardcore bands that were around in that time frame. And then me and Peder kind of have like some really kind of obscure, kind of more like art rock influences, and You know, I love like The Cure and Joy Division and all that kind of old, really old school emo.
Very cool. I love the
Yeah.
description on the Spotify. Dreamo. I've never heard it before. It's incredible. So I've got a vibecore playlist. Vibecore is kind of the term that I've come up with for that style of like easy listening screamo metalcore, like chill metalcore. And Dreamo, I think, is an incredible description of it. And I think that you guys nailed that. It's a great word for it. All right, so I'm gonna.
Peder just came up with that randomly one night. It was just like, you know, we're trying to, because he listens to a lot of shoegaze and stuff like Slow Dive and bands like that and stuff. So he was kind of like, I want it to be like dreamy but emo.
Yeah,
like, it's Dreamo.
It's Dreamo.
It's like, yeah,
perfect. I said shoegaze during the reaction, and I have a shoegaze song in my 5. So these are the 5 artists that, as the song progressed, that I kind of went, whoa, this is kind of sounding. So the first one, Bad Omens, the new album, Death of Peace of Mind. The verses have a very similar vibe to that, but then the rest of the song is nothing like it. So it swings from Bad Omens, which is almost like an industrial kind of sound in the verses, to Chiodos, especially with your vocals. I have never thought that your vocals were like Craig Owens before. I think the vocal lines in this track lend themselves to like a Craig Owens style, whereas I've never like put the two together of your vocals and Craig.
Like new like newer Craig Owens or older Craig Owens?
What?
I haven't really listened to his newer stuff. I've been meaning to.
I'd say newer. I'd say like Destroy, Rebuild Until God Shows kind of style. The new album, yeah.
Cool.
A lot like Birds is a big vibe that I got throughout. Perfect Circle towards the end. Mostly in mix. I got a hint of that, and then the most shoegazy of shoegaze vibes, Loathe.
Oh yeah. It's funny you mentioned them because our drummer, who's like just been catching up with like all the bands we've been listening to, was like, "Have you guys heard of these guys?" Like last week.
Yeah. Very
cool.
Man. So you know, those are all amazing bands that I love, and I know that, you know, giant fan bases. So to grab hints of all of those, and those weren't even the bands that you know, put out there as the main influences, but to grab these like kind of hints of that into one sound, I think is amazing because they're all such different bands.
Cool, man. Oh, that's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
I love hearing what other people like pick up on through it, because like I think 3 of those bands maybe I haven't listened to for a while, like Bad Omens and Drugs and that. So that's really cool.
Yeah, well,
I'll have to go listen to them now.
Oh, the new Bad Omens, I think mostly I just did the album reaction for the new Bad Omens, so it's like fresh in my mind. So I heard this and I was kind of like, maybe because I've come straight from it, I just kind of picked up on that vibe. But that's a very different style of band. But I think it's just grabbing that kind of dreamo vibe in those verses was very cool.
Yeah, cool.
All right, so awesome. where to from here with the band? What's the next plans?
Yeah, so I think we're just, it's pretty wild. Like I was looking at our collection of music that we've released, and we've released like 7 tracks just over the past, since like October last year. Yep. So we've been doing pretty good, like just releasing stuff and just recording and just releasing it as we record kind of thing. Theo, the bassist, does all like the production and stuff like that. So he does all the mixing and recording, and we've got a storage unit that we jam in, so we just leave all the mics set up and we can just record everything as we go, which is super handy. It saves so much time.
Yeah.
So we're kind of just gonna probably do that for the next few years, just release singles here and there and maybe some double tracks here and there. But I don't know, like I'm someone who loves albums. But at the same time, I'm not sure if everyone else does. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's like changing. I remember before Post-Human Survival Horror, Bring Me the Horizon announced that they weren't going to be doing albums anymore. And their plan was just to do singles going forward because of, you know, the release schedule and Spotify and YouTube and how it's all kind of going. I think they've gone back on that, but I remember that being like a huge shift in music, and a lot of bands are going in that direction. Yeah,
and kind of for us, because we're just all, you know, independent DIY kind of thing. That's an easy way for us to kind of just pump stuff out and keep stuff coming out. But it's tricky because we do have all those different influences. Like our sound kind of, with each release, it kind of changes a little bit. So it's kind of like, how do you stay consistent
Yeah.
and not lose people along the way, kind of thing.
And
So,
usually, like when you record, especially when you've got a producer, you might write the songs over a long amount of time, but then when you're recording them together, like decisions are made and a style is kind of formed. So, you know, with this new way of recording songs as they're written and releasing, like, yeah, it might turn into an album eventually. But then once it's put together, you don't have that kind of cohesive sound that back in the day when, you know, we went out and recorded an album at one time.
yeah.
Just that might just get lost, I guess, in future releases with bands and albums.
Yeah, you're totally right. And that's one of the things like Theo's trying to do is get better each time. He's trying
Yeah.
to like improve on his mixing and stuff like that. So even production wise, it's going to keep evolving as well, you know, which is, I think it's cool, you know, it kind of shows different shades of your music and all that sort of stuff, you know.
Yeah, I thought the production was amazing. I think
awesome.
I read just at the start of the video, I just read the bottom bit, loved the Dreamer, and then saw that you've written there that it's self-produced. And I was like, oh, right. And then as I was listening to it, I think I forgot until the very end. I was like, oh, and the quality is amazing.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So yeah, he did all the recording and mixing, and then we send it off for mastering. He's got a guy in the UK that he's always sent his stuff to. So he used to be in a band called Sirens as well, which got some pretty good traction.
Yeah.
UK kind of like prog. So prog rock, yeah, progressive rock.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, well, loved the song, loved having the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out and taking time to chat. And it was great to, you know, learn about the band and how everything came together.
Yeah, awesome to see you, Josh.
Yeah, you too. Is there anything else you want to like sign off on for the video? Anything you want to put out for anyone?
I mean, you know, check out the EP. It's called Carelessly Designed, and yeah, there's 4 tracks on there, which I think kind of showcase a good kind of diversity in our sound. So yeah, I hope you like it, and you know, check us out follow us on Instagram, Spotify, all that sort of stuff. That really helps us out, just as like a little band just coming out. So yeah, would really appreciate that.
Very cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. Great to see you.